Hi everyone. So the author that I researched was John Green, and today I am going to talk a little bit about my favorite book of his that I read and why I liked it, and then I'm going to read just a little excerpt of it. My favorite John Green book was Turtles All the Way Down. This is his most recent book that was published in 2017. Um, I have a synopsis on the page, so I'm not going to get too much into it. But basically, it's about a girl who has OCD. And the reason that this was so relatable is because I also have OCD, and John Green has OCD, and he's pretty open about that. And so I think that he really was able to do the character justice because he knows what it's like. So, Aza is going through trying to solve this mystery, but she's having a lot of internal conflict with her OCD because and this is what she would call it is an irrational fear. But she has an irrational fear of getting some kind of infection and then getting C. diff and then dying. And she knows that it's irrational, and she knows that the chances of it happening are very slim to none. But with her OCD, it doesn't stop her from having these obsessive thoughts that consume her. And for me, my relation is that I have a really irrational fear of like buildings collapsing. And I know that it's irrational. Sometimes I can laugh about it. But sometimes I get so stuck in this mindset that the building I'm in is going to collapse. And it's just this spiral that, it takes a while to get out of. Um, so I picked an excerpt of the book that really just shows what goes on inside of Aza's mind when she starts to spiral, is what she calls it. I have these thoughts that Dr. Karen Singh calls intrusives, but the first time she said it, I heard invasives, which I like better because, like invasive weeds, these thoughts seem to arrive at my biosphere from some faraway land, and then they spread out of control. Supposedly, everyone has them. You look out from over a bridge or whatever, and it occurs to you out of nowhere that you could just jump. And then, if you're most people, you think, well, that was a weird thought. And then you just move on with your life. But for some people, the invasive can kind of take over, crowding out all the other thoughts until it's the only one you're able to have. The thought you're perpetually either thinking or distracting yourself from. You're watching TV with your mom, the show about time traveling crime solvers, and you remember a boy holding your hand, looking at your finger, and then a thought occurs to you. You should unwrap that band-aid and check to see if there is an infection. You don't actually want to do this. It's just an invasive. Everyone has them, but you can't shut yours up. And then she goes on to talk for another 2 pages, just about like what this invasive does to her and how now it started with her watching a TV show that had nothing to do with infections, and then it just consumed her, and that's all she could think of, and then she gets panicky, and then it just causes this series of events. So that's why I really liked this book. I feel like not only could I really relate, but John did a really good job of portraying that character. And it had a little mystery in it, and I like mysteries too. So there is that. Turtles all the way down.